The first time I realized money couldn't buy safety was the night someone tried to set my mother on fire. Not in some movie way, not with a dramatic soundtrack. Real, quiet. A slick trail of gasoline behind our guest house in Miami, a match struck, and then the sudden roar, like the ocean itself had turned angry. My mom, Imani Kingsley, didn't scream. She never did. She just grabbed my wrist so hard it hurt and dragged me toward the pool, her eyes scanning like a soldier. We dove in fully dressed, and the heat rolled over us as the flames ate the hedges. When we climbed out, shivering, the guests were already running and shouting. My wife, Harper Sterling Kingsley, was holding our daughter, Aria, tight against her chest. Harper's face was pale, but her voice was steady. "Darius," she said, and I could hear it, fear trying to hide behind control. "This isn't random." It wasn't. I looked across the yard and saw a man standing near the gate, watching like he'd come to enjoy a show. He wore a staff polo shirt, but I knew every person on my payroll. He wasn't one of ours. The second our eyes met, he turned and disappeared into the night. I chased him barefoot, wet clothes slapping my legs. I reached the street and saw a black SUV idling under a palm tree. The back window was tinted, but I could feel someone looking out from inside. The SUV rolled away slowly, slow enough to let me know they could have been fast, but chose not to be. A message: you can be a billionaire, you can build skyscrapers, you can fly private. But the moment you think you're untouchable, somebody reminds you you're still human. And in our case, somebody wanted to remind us we were still black. We weren't always in America. My mother and I lived in West Africa for years, years of heat and dust, and tight-knit streets where everyone knew your name. My father died when I was young, and my mother raised me with a strange mix of softness and steel. She taught me that respect was priceless, but also that the world punishes the proud when they forget to stay alert. When I came to the US for university, I thought I'd just get a degree and come back. Then the internet business I built in my dorm room exploded. Then the first big contract. Then the first million. Then the first 100 million. Then a billion that didn't feel real until the taxes hit. By the time I was 35, we owned a logistics and fintech empire that quietly powered half the e-commerce routes on the East Coast. We employed thousands. We paid more in salaries than some towns made in a year. We also became the kind of family people love to talk about. Because Harper wasn't just white, Harper Sterling was sterling. Old money. Her family's name sat on hospital wings.